I need to know, I need to know, I need to know. You need to know, you need to know, you need to know. We all need to know. What do you need to know? What do I need to know? What do we need to know? Fear, fear, fear. Bible says the fear of God is the beginning of wisdom. The fear of God is the beginning of wisdom. That means when you fear God, that is just the beginning. That's not the middle and that's not the ending. So, God, that means the foundation, the person that you need to fear most is the fear of God. When you have the fear of God, the commandment, the will, and the wishes of God, that's the beginning of wisdom. It's not the end, that's just the foundation of wisdom. And there's so many things that you need to also fear. There are so many things that you need to put into consideration. But the foundation of wisdom, for you to have wisdom, is to fear God. So, when we are talking about fear, fear in the sense of deep aspect or respect or caution can be directed towards various things depending on your beliefs, depending on your values. Apart from God, you might consider there are so many things to also fear about. As I said, the fear of God is the beginning of wisdom, is the foundation of wisdom. You have to build on that thing, on that foundation. So there are so many things that you need to fear as well after fearing God. Number one of it is your own actions and choices. Your own action and your choices. Since they shape your action and your choices, they shape your destiny and consequences. Number two that you need to fear is about the consequence of sin or wrongdoing. The consequences of the sin that you are committing or the wrongdoing that you are embarking on. If you believe in moral or spiritual accountability, you must fear the consequences of sin. Nobody says you should not sin, but the consequences of sin, are you able to bear it? Number three, dishonoring your principal or loved ones. When you dishonor your own principle and when you dishonor your loved one, you have to know that something is going to happen. That means losing integrity or respect can have everlasting respect, which means you have to be fair not to be dishonoring your own principle and loved one. Likewise, wise and just authority. You must be fair of them, wise and just authority. Figures. So you for those who uphold justice and fairness. Number five, the dangers of the world. Certain people, you have to know that there are some people you don't talk to anyhow. There are some system you don't go against. There are some individual or faces that can cause harm if not approached with wisdom. So let me talk about what's it called? Your own action and choices, which you have to be very, very cautious about that. You have to caution about that. Fearing your own action, by fearing your own actions and choices doesn't mean living in anxiety, but rather developing a deep sense of responsibility and awareness of their consequences. So you have to be, it's not that you have to be too cautious of it, but also you have to cautious that if I embark on this action, what is the repercussion? It's just like a seed. If I sow this seed, if it germinates, am I going to be able to undo it? Number one, for you to fear your own actions and consequences, develop self-awareness. Develop self-awareness. How? Reflect on your past decisions and their outcomes. Many people keep repeating their errors, keep repeating. Why? Because they do not reflect on their past decision and their outcome. Under it is also understanding your weaknesses and triggers. Understand your weaknesses and triggers your weakness. Don't be saying, "No, I know it all." No, don't be saying, "I'm strong." No, it can't happen. No, no, I don't. No, everybody in this world have weaknesses. So you have to work on those weaknesses. And if people are saying you are weak in this area, work on it. And those things that trigger it, so that you'll be able to know how to act and how to react. Under it, under develop self-awareness is about regular examining motives before acting. Regularly examine your motives before acting. Before you take any action, before you do any reaction, sit down and calculate, does it even worth it? Must I reply? Must I do this? Must I go there? Must I do this? So that you'll be able to know. You fear the repercussion. Number 2, how to fear your own actions and choices. Number 2, think before you act. Many people, the reason is that they can do this. By the time they get to court, after they have said what they need to say, and they are now charged, they are now and then you have to know that anything you say is, that's what the police says. Anytime they want to arrest, anything you say will be used against you at the court of law. So therefore, think before you act. Ask yourself, is this the right thing to do? Is it the right thing to do? Ask yourself that question. Consider long-term consequences, not just short-time. Just not what you want to enjoy now, not what you that just 5 minutes enjoyment. Consider the long time. What is it going to bear? Seek advice from wise and trustworthy people. Seek advice from wise people that are wise and trustworthy people. Hold yourself accountable. Number 3, hold yourself accountable. Set personal standard. That's how you can hold yourself accountable. Set personal standard and live by them. Accept responsibility for mistakes instead of blaming others. Blame yourself before you blame others. Learn from failures and adjust your further decision accordingly. Learn from all failures and also your future decision accordingly. Number 4, it's all about fear the regret of wrong choices. Fear the regret, because the regret will be there for life. Imagine how you will feel looking back on your decision that you have took. Think about how your choices affect others, not just yourself. Let the fear of regret push you towards better decision. Number 5 is about strengthening your morale and spiritual foundation. Strengthen your morale and spiritual foundation. How are you going to strengthen it? Stay connected to your values of faith. Stay connected to your values or your faith. Pray, meditate, or seek wisdom regularly. Lastly, surround yourself with people who encourage good decision making, not people that are saying you can't do it, not people that say just ignore procrastination. Surround yourself with people who encourage good decision. So this kind of fear is really a deep sense of respect for the power of your own decision. It is not about being paralyzed by fear, but about using it to guide you towards a life of wisdom and integrity. God bless you. God be with you. Think about it. After God, fear yourself, fear your decision, and fear the choices that you are making today, because they will affect you in one way or the other tomorrow. Shalom.